Oh, señorita, ഈറനാമീ മുകിലുകൾ. Oh, señorita, കാത്തു നിന്മേൽ പെയ്യുവാൻ. Oh, señorita.
The sole purpose of creating my channel Jyotsna Official was to actually just put out content that gave me the creative satisfaction of being a musician. I just wanted to create a space where I could just do my own thing. And my first ever video that I put out on YouTube on my channel Jyotsna Official was an original called Inivarimo. And since then I've put a lot of videos on there, and yes, sometimes I have done covers. I did do this series called Simply Live Sessions, where I would do live rehashes of some very popular songs that I really like listening to. So I did do some covers because I have been into playback for a really long while. So there is a certain kind of audience that I also cater to. So for that purpose, I did do a couple of covers on my channel. But my main purpose is to kind of create my own space where I can do my originals. And with my originals, I do not believe in sticking to the same pattern all the time. Yes, I do try to give a certain signature of mine in all my songs, but I am somebody who enjoys listening to all kinds of songs that belongs to all genres. So I believe as a singer-songwriter, I enjoy, because that is the kind of music that I have grown up listening to. I enjoy creating different kinds of songs and experimenting with different kinds of genres and themes. So I think that is why probably when you get onto my channel and listen to my videos, you would feel like one video is not like the other, or rather one song is not like the other, because that is just how I like it to be. I have been doing playback for quite a long time now. 2002 is when I started, so it's been quite a few years now. I definitely owe it to playback singing that people recognize my voice, people know who I am. That is definitely because of the popularity that comes with being a playback artist. But something that can be slightly frustrating about film music or playback singing in particular is that it can tend to stereotype you into a particular genre, into a particular style. And especially if a particular style of song becomes a hit, then you are consistently called for that same genre over and over again. So it can get slightly frustrating after a point. And I have had incidences where I would go to the studio and I would listen to the song, and in my mind, because I cannot say it out loud, in my mind I would be like, do I really have to sing this? Because you know that there is so much more that you can do, and sometimes when you are consistently put into the same category for a long period of time, it can creatively it can get quite frustrating. And that is one advantage that I see when it comes to indie music over playback, that you can actually do your thing and you'll always have an audience for that. Whatever genre that you choose to do, you can experiment in it because it's your baby. You have the say on to, what style it's going to be, or what kind of lyrics you want to give it, or what kind of style you want to give it. If you want to just kind of put it apart and redo it again, you have the freedom to experiment and do all sorts of things with it, which can be a very big high for someone who does creative work. So definitely that is also one of the reasons why I find independent music and indie music so appealing. And when I listen to the indie artists of today, I can see that they have a piece of their soul in it, and it is very apparent when you listen to those tracks, that because it does not come with any boundaries, it does not come with any limitations. They just create their song and it's their own. So there's a piece of them in every song that they create, which is wonderful, and which is why I find independent music so appealing. I've always been a sucker for anything flamenco, whether it's flamenco dance or flamenco music. This genre has always intrigued me, and I've always wanted to do something in this genre, you know, along the way. So, with Senorita, what happened was I was just sitting with my guitar. It was in the evening. I was sitting alone playing a few chords, and I was just singing along some random tunes that came to my mind. And I was finger plucking, and that's when this tune actually came into my mind, and I was like, okay, this does have a slight flamenco Spanish ring to it, and I kind of coined the term, oh, senorita, with it. So I was like, okay, so maybe I should kind of do this in that, maybe this song should go that way, is what I felt at that point. And then I began writing, and in the beginning I was a little confused whether I should go English or whether I should go Spanish, because of course if it's Spanish I would have to get somebody to write it for me. But I thought, why not try Malayalam? And I don't write much of Malayalam, but I decided to give it a go anyway, and I wrote the song. I made some basic chords, and then I called the genius flamenco, the best flamenco guitarist that we have in the country, Santosh Chandran, and I said, please be a part of this, and he was more than happy to, and he kind of elevated the song to a completely different level altogether. And in terms of theme, as I said, I was sitting alone, it was raining, and I was having a very beautiful moment at that time, and I felt it is the solitude that made it so special. And I feel solitude as a human being, I think solitude is also very important. I think it's important to have that time alone to kind of look into ourselves and to learn about ourselves and to grow. You know, solitude really helps us to do that. It can be extremely empowering. So I thought I should write about that, and that's what my lyrics are about. And yeah, so that is the story of Senorita.
Oh, señorita, ഈറനണിയൂ മഴയിതിൽ. Oh, señorita.
Yes, absolutely. I feel I think it holds the same for almost every singer-songwriter that I know who does their own stuff, that they have a piece of their journey, a piece of their experiences in their music as well. And the same goes for me also. And whether it is Inivarumo or Paranne or Coffee Mug or Senorita or any of the other work that I have done, it definitely has some kind of reflection of me or my growth as an individual and as a musician. And I think that is not something that you do on purpose. It is not something that, okay, I had this experience, so let me translate that into, let me make a song out of it. It's definitely not that. For me, creating the song kind of happens, it just happens on an instantaneous moment. There is no preparation that I do for it. I just sit and I'm like, okay, I need to make something right now. And when I make it, bits and pieces of my experiences and bits and pieces of the individual that I have become, or whatever stage I'm in my life at that particular moment, it kind of just translates into my song unknowingly. It happens involuntarily, I believe. So yeah, so I think that is also why singing and songwriting gives me a lot of satisfaction. And even if I don't get 1 million views for a song, even if I don't hit that viral, even if I'm not on the billboards, it doesn't matter to me, because I can rest assured with the fact that, I created something of my own and I have contributed something towards music, and that's what matters to me the most.